Good evening, all. ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ അഡോളസെന്റ് ആൻഡ് ചൈൽഡ് ഹെൽത്ത് വീക്കിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് ഇന്ത്യൻ അക്കാഡമി ഓഫ് പീഡിയാട്രിക്സ് കൊല്ലവും AHA കേരള ചാപ്റ്ററും സംയുക്തമായിട്ട് നടത്തുന്ന CME ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ അഡോളസെന്റ് ഹെൽത്ത് എന്നുള്ളത് ഇപ്പോൾ വളരെ റിലവൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാവരും പീഡിയാട്രിക് നമ്മൾ 12 years എന്നുള്ളത് ഇപ്പം വെയിറ്റ് വൈസ് ആണെങ്കിലും ഒബേസിറ്റി കൂടിയത് കാരണവും അല്ലാതെയും കൂടുതൽ വലിയ കുട്ടികളെ കാണുന്ന ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ എന്താണ് ജെൻ ആൽഫ പിള്ളേരെ എല്ലാം കാണുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ അഡോളസെന്റ് മാനേജ്മെന്റും അഡോളസെന്റ് ഈ സൈക്കോളജിക്കൽ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും ഒക്കെ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു വളരെ റിലവൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ടോപ്പിക്കാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ നമ്മുടെ IAP AHA ചാപ്റ്റർ വളരെ ആക്റ്റീവായിട്ട് പോകുന്ന ഒരു സബ് സ്പെഷ്യാലിറ്റിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്ന് നമുക്കത് കൊല്ലം IAP ഇത് കോ ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞത് ഒരു നമ്മുടെ ഒരു പ്രിവിലേജ് ആയിട്ട് കാണുന്നു. സോ സ്ട്രൈറ്റ് അവേ ഐ എം ഗോയിങ് ടു മൈ ജോബ്. ഇന്ന് വെൽക്കം ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് IAP കൊല്ലം ബ്രാഞ്ച് പ്രസിഡന്റ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ എൻ്റെ കർത്തവ്യം. ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ ഐ വുഡ് ലൈക്ക് ടു വെൽക്കം അവർ ഡിയർ റിയാസ് സർ, IAP president Kerala, on behalf of IAP Kollam to this CME. Dr. Gobi Mohan, he is our own member, Secretary IAP Kerala. I am welcoming Dr. Gobi Mohan. Today's speaker is Dr. Newton Luiz. On behalf of IAP Kollam and on my own behalf, I am welcoming you, sir, for the CME. I am welcoming Dr. Deepa, AHA chairperson, and Dr. Vidhu Ashok, secretary AHA chapter. Dr. Binikutan, treasurer. I think our secretary Vidhu is also in the CME, I think. So I am welcoming all senior IAP members and dear friends to the CME. Over to Dr. Gobi Mohan.
Thank you, Manoj. I now request our president, Dr. Riaz, to say a few words.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gopi and Dr. Manoj, for the invitation. So I am especially happy today because IAP Kollam is hosting this meeting. So it is very hearty to see IAP Kollam coming up with new programs. I think next week also there is some program planned by IAP Kollam in adolescents again. So thanks to Gopi and Manoj for this initiative. And the second happiness is listening to Newton sir, because whenever sir says about adolescence and parenting, counseling, it is very simple and also practical points which every pediatrician can do in their clinic. It is not much of theory, rather than he tells us how to deal with these problems. And as always, Dr. Deepa is here. And Deepa and Vidhu has been doing wonderful work with the adolescent chapter all through the year. And I think even though they are changing, their presence will be there in the coming year also for organizing the programs. And I also acknowledge the presence of senior leaders of Kollam, Sri Kumar sir, Rajaram sir is here. And I think we already have a good number of listeners. Without wasting much time, we will go for the academics. Over to Gobi back. Thank you.
Thank you, Riaz. As you said, Newton sir is a pleasure to hear. So when we decided on the topic, the first person that came to our mind was Newton sir. And fortunately for us, sir was available. So we don't have to look beyond him. Next, I call upon Dr. Deepa, the president of ASA chapter Kerala, to say a few words.
Good evening, one and all. Respected Dr. Riaz, Honorable President IAP Kerala, Dr. Manoj Mani, Honorable President IAP Kollam, Dr. Newton Lewis, the speaker today, with all seniors, dignitaries, and my dear friends. I don't know how many of you are aware that there is virtual makeup on Zoom. Likewise, there is another app called the Snapchat. Snapchat is one of the pioneering apps in body image. It involves augmentation reality. So when you look at the Snapchat, what you see is the dream image. And then when you look back at the mirror, what you see is the real image, the real you. And what results? You feel quite unsatisfied. One side you see the clean glowing skin, and the other side you see all acne and scars, everything. So what do? You go to the plastic surgeon, ask them to change the shape of the nose, the jawline. So that is called a Snapchat dysmorphia. It's an indeed known entity. And when parents bring these teenagers to us, many times we end up advising them. The parents go back happy, and the adolescents murmur an extension of our parents. This pediatrician does the same. So, in order to bring some effect, there is a way you talk to them. And to talk about this important topic, we have the authority on the subject today, Newton sir. Here. I'm so happy to have him here. I'm so looking forward to listen to him, listen to his lecture. And I do congratulate the office bearers of IIP Kerala, Riya sir and Gopi sir, and IIP Kollam, Dr. Manoj Mani and Dr. Vidhu, for bringing up this important topic. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa. One thing is that our Aadhaar cards looks more worse than the mirror. Okay, thank you. So now I request, yeah. So then I now request Dr. Meera, our neurodevelopment pediatrician in Travancore Medical College, to introduce our speaker. Though Newton sir doesn't need any introduction, but as part of a protocol, she'll introduce Dr. Newton sir. Thank you. Meera.
Good evening, all. I'm really happy to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Newton Lewis. Newton sir is a well-known pediatrician from Dhanya Mission Hospital, Porta. He is the academic editor of the IEP AHA textbook of Adolescent Medicine 2024 and has also authored a Malayalam book on childcare published in 2019. He has been an active leader, having served as the former secretary and president of AHA Kerala and IEP Thrissur, and has delivered several talks at both national and state conferences. He has also contributed chapters to the IEP PG textbook of pediatrics and Bhave's textbook of adolescents. We are very truly delighted to have him with us today to share his insights on a very relevant topic, social media and body image, counseling the Instagram generation. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Meera. Now let's get on to the academics. Over to Newton, sir.
Thank you. I think I start to share screen sharing. It's not coming. It came earlier.
Not coming. Yeah, chat comes.
Earlier it did come. This no, it's not. It's just showing the same screen, the Zoom screen. Oh wait, I'll just put this off and see. Ah, that's what happened. Okay. New. I don't know why it's not coming.
So can you sign in again and see if it's coming?
Yeah, one second. I just
Log
tried
out
this.
and log in.
Yeah, earlier when we did it, it came. So I'm not sure. Let me see once again. Let me last try attempt.
Yes.
No, it's not coming. Okay, I'll just close. Okay, cancel and try again.
Yes.
Sign out and sign in. Alle?
Yeah. I'll make you a co-host, sir.
So I'm back in. Now let me try again. Host disabled attendee screen sharing. Hello?
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. I'll make you a co-host, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I got it.
Yeah, it's coming, sir.
Can you see it? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right. So my topic for today is yeah. My topic for today is what is body image and how is it affected by social media? Is it that important? And if so, how do we counsel the Insta generation? Right. So the basic problem is that during adolescence, there is normally a dramatic increase in weight. The height increases only 25% from maybe 135 centimeters to 170 centimeters. But the weight doubles from 33 kilos to 66, 70 kilos. So this means that there is the increases in weight is there. Part of it is due to the increase in height, increase in bone mass, muscle mass. But in girls, especially, there is also significant extra fat deposition, which is necessary for a healthy adolescent and adulthood. This means that there is a change in the shape, girl's shape, which might make people, girls especially, uncomfortable in a situation where weight gain is a very emotional issue today. So, first point I want to say is that body image and body shape are different. Body shape is I am slim or I am overweight. Body image is I think I have what I interpret, how I interpret. I think I am thin. I think I am fat. I have a negative impression about myself. More important, it is my thoughts, my feelings about how I look. I don't think I look good. I don't think other people like the way I look. So I have a negative impression of myself and of how other people think about me. It is that which is the body image, not just the shape. The point here, second point, is that body image is highly subjective. It is not what is actually there. It is what is there in your imagination. For example, height. You take two boys in the same class. One is taller than the other. He's generally quite proud of the fact. But then you take a couple, and if the girl is taller than the boy, generally they both feel a little uncomfortable about it. On the other hand, if the lady happens to be a model, she's quite happy about it because the average model at the international level has to be above 5 feet 7, the female model. So they are happy to be tall and slim, whereas other women would feel uncomfortable with a partner who is shorter than them. So all this body image and body is very subjective, and it's not just about height, thinness. Now, these are typical Barbie images. The adolescent doll, the Barbie doll, the developed world doll, it's broomstick thin. The hands and the legs are so thin. To us, to the West, it looks beautiful because there is so much of more than 50% of them are overweight. They are so concerned about being overweight. So they beautify. Their concept of beauty is somebody who is undernourished with a BMI not of 18 to 23 or 18 to 25, but preferably something like 15. They want, in fact, 30 years ago, it was compulsory. If you want to be a successful model, or if you want to be a host in a TV show, you have to bring down your for women, you have to bring down your BMI to 15, believe it or not. So that is their concept of beauty. That is not the concept in India, especially among us older people. For us, being so thin implies hunger. It implies tuberculosis. We don't like it. It implies poverty. And even today in Africa, it's got a very negative image. It implies hunger, starvation, because there's a lot of it still over there. Starvation, hunger, tuberculosis, HIV. So it's got a very negative impression in Africa. So the body shape and the body image are different things. The image is a subjective thing. Color. Here you go to any supermarket, you will find plenty of beauty creams, and all the beauty creams are promised to make you fair. And fair implies lovely. Now, the opposite happens with in the developed countries. They are all very fair to start off with, so they want to have a nice suntan. My cousin in the US says she says over there she's so thrilled. Here she's I mean she's just an average color. Over there she's got a nice tanned skin. So it's all imagination. And then shape. Okay, shape that's not much of a problem. All the men like a woman who's very shapely, and the women also would like a male to be reasonably slim and to have a reasonably muscular body. But even here, boys are frequently what the boys say is okay. Muscles are more prominent in especially adolescent boys. Muscles are more prominent in males than in females. So they think that muscles make the man. Muscles make us virile. Muscles make us masculine. So they want to have bigger muscles. And they like this picture on the right of a person who's got bulging muscles all over the place. Whereas most women, though the boys don't know it, most women would look at this picture as very unnatural, and it is in fact unnatural. Right. So the third point is we've mentioned that body image is a very artificial concept actually. The third point is that this body image creates a lot of worry in adolescents. UK study, and there are many studies in the developed countries which show similar patterns. 50% of girls and 25% of boys, adolescents, are very much concerned about their body image. Think about it, worry about it. To the extent that cosmetics is a booming business. It's booming in India, but in the developed world, it's a massive business. And even cosmetic surgery, which is so costly, is absolutely booming in the West. Most of the time, it's something small, like you want to get a lip fillers, or you want to shape your eyebrows. Those are all minor things. But more serious things, they want breast implants to get a bigger breast. They want buttock surgery to make their buttocks bigger. But that's if you go through, and then of course shape the nose, shape of the jaw, filling out your cheeks, all sorts of cosmetic surgery, very costly, and it's a booming business in the West, even for adolescents. And then of course we know about the use of anabolic steroids in developed countries. 10% of adolescent boys try anabolic steroids in order to change their body shape, because it does two things. First of all, it increases their muscle mass, and secondly, it reduces the subcutaneous fat so that the muscle mass becomes more obvious, right? So they go in for anabolic steroids. At least 10% have experimented with it, even though they are not into sports and nutritional supplements. Even yesterday, a boy came to me to ask me about nutritional supplements. Smoking. One of the major reasons why smoking today in the developed countries is more common in girls than in boys is that if you smoke, your basal metabolism increases and you lose on average about 2 kilos weight in no time. You stop smoking and the 2 kilos comes back very fast. So just for those 2 kilos, lots of adolescent girls go into make smoking a regular habit. And of course, depressive symptoms, social anxiety. They don't want to go swimming. They don't want to play sports because when I wear my sports clothes, my shape is obvious. Okay, they don't even want to go into society in some situations because they're so embarrassed. And of course, this business of skipping breakfast, very common in the developed countries. Episodic dieting, very common, and also weird diets are very, very popular in the West today. And we know about, we're not going to discuss about binge eating disorder, bulimia nervosa, anorexia nervosa, all of which are major issues. Anorexia nervosa is a major killer of adolescent girls in the West. Right. So we now the body image. What is the major influence that that creates the adults? What is it that maximally influences the adolescent's body image? Well, mass media, peers, and family, including parents. Mass media today is number one, including especially Instagram, mass media, because it's so common. You have about 500 million followers on Instagram, and there are millions, literally millions of photos, images, and videos being shared on Instagram every single day. So if even a tiny fraction of them is going to have a massive effect, there are lots of influencers, lots of models, and all of them are putting their images regularly because they by having influencers, they make a lot of money out of it. So it's definitely going to affect the adolescent's body image. So here is an example. these are professional models, professional actors, professional, they have to look good. It is their job to look good. So every morning after you take your bath, after you take your bath, you have to sit there and you are attacked by beauticians. Just like on a wedding day, no, some 3 or 4 hours you sit in front of a beautician because you want to look best on your wedding day. That's fine if it's just your wedding day. But if this is going to happen every single day of your life, how is it going to be if a woman has to spend 1 hour of her of every day in the frame? Attacked by beauticians, combing their hair in a particular style, rubbing their skin with all sorts of ointments, including in the most unmentionable body parts, and then their fingernails, their hair, skin color, making sure. It's a massive effort. 1 hour every day. And that's just the beauty part of it. Then after that, they have to go in for the photographic session. And after those photographic sessions, okay, and after those photographic sessions, even that is not enough. They've been professionally dressed up in a particular costumes, and professional photographers are there to take their photos. And after that, these professional photographers will touch up their pictures in order to make it ready for the viewing. And these people have to stick to their BMI. They have to follow a strict diet every single day throughout the year. And they have to exercise a certain amount under professional trainers every day to keep that body image. They can afford to say it's torture, but basically they can afford to do it. Part of their job. It's like us taking rounds. They have to do it. So they do it. They get their benefit out of it. But for an ordinary adolescent girl who doesn't have time for all this, she looks at these pictures. Oh my God, this woman looks so beautiful. I look so ordinary compared to that. She's comparing herself to somebody who's spending their whole life on beauty, and she is getting a negative body image. That is what is happening. They are not mature enough, these adolescent girls, to realize how much of suffering these people have to go through in order to get that appearance. Yeah, this is just a trivial example. Now, even politicians, Gorbachev had a massive cafe spot on his scalp, but nobody in Russia is aware of it because this is how he was always seen on Russian news. Okay, now we've talked about the influence of the models, but models also have their limitations. I mean, there are plenty of models, plenty of actors, and they've got millions of followers, literally millions of followers. But more than that, the adolescent is influenced by peers. And all these adolescents are into Instagram, and all of them see their own friends on Instagram, and they are always sharing photos. Wherever they go, they take photos, selfies to show off to each other how much I am enjoying life and how beautiful I look and what type of clothes I am wearing. I bought some new clothing, etc., etc. They are all trying to. It's a competition. What's supposed to be a sharing is now a highly competitive sport. Okay, especially on Instagram. Now, what happens is they are not satisfied with their photos. So, what they modify their techniques. They try to beautify themselves on Instagram. There are professional apps, paid apps, plenty of them. Yeah, I just checked up Google Play. There are plenty of them where you pay little money and you can do a lot of things to transform your own looks. You can make yourself fair, dark, change your shape, size. You can decorate the background in all sorts of ways. And there are plenty of adolescent girls who are willing to spend the money to do this, to take selfies, to beautify themselves in these selfies, and then post. And it has been clearly shown that the girls who see the maximum amount of these pictures and who post the maximum amount of these pictures and who spend the maximum time on Instagram, they are the ones who have the worst body images. Okay, so peers. Now, I know nothing about all these things practically, but I just took a photo from the online and I just stretched the photo. I don't know anything. I just stretch the photo and oh my God, she immediately gains weight. And then I just shrink the photo and then she becomes so beautiful. So the shape changes. You can make a girl fat, you can make her slim, you can make her thin as a broomstick just by pulling the buttons forward or even if you do anything. Don't know anything about decorating a photo. I took a photo of myself and I just tried to change my color and see this. Just about a few changes of the button and also the pictures. Now, I don't know anything about beautifying, but I can change my color and I could have done a lot of things to the background and to the shape of my nose, I suppose. I don't know. It's so easy to change things and you're fooling yourself. You go to your class and your classmates know what you look like and you know that your classmates don't look like they see in their photos, but still, that when you are on Instagram, you want to outshine them. So it's very highly competitive. You are strongly influenced. Formerly it was by models, but now you are strongly influenced even on Instagram, not live, but on Instagram, you are fighting with each other, competing with each other, and affecting each other. Right. Now, parents are supposed to be supports for their adolescent children, mature enough to tell them what is right, what is wrong, and what is to be concerned about. But what happens if the parents are excessively concerned about their own body shape? Oh my God, I'm 50 years old, I'm gaining weight, my body is all clumsy. I mean, if they talk like that in front of the adolescents, how are the adolescents going to feel? Huh? And then they pass negative comments about the adolescent because she's got to get married, and look at her, she's dark, she's thin, she's slim, she's fat. Okay, so they, instead of being a support and a guide, they frequently are a strong negative influence on the adolescent's body image. And if the adults are eating junk, that's what their children are also going to do. Now, actually, what's the point of blaming the mass media, Instagram, or peers, or parents? It's all ultimately, indirectly, the effect of our modern culture. And our modern culture is, it needs to change. It focuses too much on beauty in women and on intelligence in men. And worst of all, it defines beauty by excessive thinness in women. This is something that I can't tolerate. When I see those Barbie dolls, it looks so ugly to me, but people enjoy it. And the concept of an attractive women have been found repeatedly in psychological studies to be more popular, to be treated with more respect, to be offered better jobs, and are even viewed as more intelligent and competent. So our culture needs to change. Right. Now, to compensate for the anorexia nervosa, which is a big issue in girls, boys also have their own issues, bigorexia. We call it bigorexia. They want to have big muscles, to impress themselves. That this is what girls are most concerned about. So they go to the gym for workouts. They take anabolic steroids. They take high protein diet. Now, what happens if you take a high protein diet? Now, if you are exercising intensely, a high protein diet is per weight per day. If you're doing intense exercise 1 or 2 hours every day, you need, especially the athletes, you need double that, 1.6 grams per kilogram body weight per day. You actually need it because you need to build up muscle. But if you're not doing that much of intense exercise and you're taking a lot of high proteins, that protein is going to be wasted. It's just going to be turned into energy, right? Just like carbs. And that is the problem, that when excess of proteins, amino acids are being excreted in the kidney, one, there is a hypothetical possibility of renal damage with if it's chronic, and also there is actual loss of calcium, excessive excretion in the kidneys when there's a lot of amino acid wastage. Nutritional supplements. Creatinine is very popular. It's actually quite safe. No significant side effects found. Whether it is beneficial is highly controversial. There is some studies saying it's beneficial, but the possibility is that this is just psychological. Creatine does not logically and scientifically have a clear basis for being useful, and there has not been adequate proof of its efficacy. Vitamins. I mean, if you are vitamin deficient, if you are deficient in iron or deficient in vitamin D, is going to affect you. But if you have all normal quantity of vitamins in normal food that you are having, then obviously multivitamins are just a waste of money. They don't do that much of harm, but they're just a waste of money. Energy and sports drinks is a different situation. These energy drinks, basically, what are they? They contain high levels of caffeine, and that is risky because you're going to take high levels of caffeine and then do vigorous exercise. High levels of caffeine are going to trouble your heart. And vigorous exercise, too vigorous exercise, intensive exercise, those are the persons who are going to take energy drinks in between. Intense exercise can itself cause arrhythmia. My friend, my classmate in St. John's, he's in Canada. He's got 3 children, and the youngest fellow, 22 years old, will not listen to his father at all. He's fanatic about exercise, 3 hours every day. And one fine day, he's doing an exercise, and then at the end of 2 hours, he just suddenly collapsed and dies last year. Okay, that is the problem with energy drinks. You're straining your heart when you're intensively exercising, and you're further straining it by taking high levels of caffeine. Along with the high levels of caffeine, there will also be high levels of sugar. So, in order to give you immediate energy. And there are sometimes supplements, including stimulants, in some of the energy drinks. So that makes it even more risky. Word about anabolic steroids. If anabolic steroids are taken, will they build up muscle? It used to be very controversial, but now there's no controversy. It's more or less known. Okay. This photo on your left, the dark black and white photo, is taken from the Bible of Psychiatry, Kaplan Sadok. Okay. Now this is the maximum muscle that you can develop with intense exercise. You can see that he's quite muscular. Okay. Look at his thighs. Look at his arms. He is muscular, but he doesn't have the kind of muscles that you have to see on the right. He cannot have the type of muscles. All these professional bodybuilders and all that, all of them are on anabolic steroids. Otherwise, you cannot develop this much of muscle. Okay, it's very easy to remember. If you take testosterone and don't exercise, you can increase your muscle mass with adequate food. You can increase your muscle mass by up to 10%. That's significant. If you do intense exercise but no steroids, you can increase your muscle mass by up to 20%, double that. Okay, and yesterday I saw a guy who was doing that. I am, pure. What do you call it? I don't know the word he used. Natural muscle power. He doesn't take any steroids, but he is doing vigorous exercise. Okay, so that is intense exercise. Testosterone alone up to 10%. Intense exercise alone up to 20%. Testosterone plus intense exercise up to 40% increase in muscle mass. That's extremely unnatural. And one day these people will stop, most of them soon after adolescence. Once they start their lives, their active adult lives, most of them will stop taking these steroids, and they will still be eating gigantic quantities. No matter how much they try to cut down on your calories by 50% is difficult. So they'll cut down on their calories by some extent. And all the high protein mass, in the absence of steroids, has to be converted into energy. So there's so much of energy. Most of these professional bodybuilders, a lot of them end up overweight or obese, because the muscle mass comes down. It has to be converted into energy, and they're also eating more. Even though they feel that they are dieting, they're not dieting adequately. So they are risking a life of being overweight. And also, the dangers of anabolic steroids. I'm not going to discuss that. Right. So we come to the last point. What can we do to advise adolescents? Well, we have to make them aware that everyone gains weight during adolescence. It's necessary because you need to gain height, and especially in girls, it's also necessary because you need to have stocks of fat in your body for a healthy future life. Okay, so that they have to understand. There is also protection for the fetus in times of starvation. So that is why women have more fat, presumably. So that is part of life. It is not due to unnecessary eating. Reasonable amount of weight gain is necessary during adolescence. That the adolescent has to be told by us. Secondly, very important, avoid excessive Instagram use. Believe it or not, there are plenty of studies which show that if most of these persons who are Instagram addicts, have very bad body image ideas, body image concepts, are excessive Instagram users. And when they are told to reduce your Instagram use for 1 month on a control basis, okay, study basis, so you reduce it by 50%, from 3 hours to 1.5 hours, from 4 hours to 2 hours. Guess what? Within 1 month, there's a dramatic depression, depression inventory and all that, when you do professional studies before and after to see how they view themselves and how depressed or anxious they are. There is a dramatic improvement. So you just have to control their excessive Instagram use. You can't stop it. Okay, they need it a little bit, but not too much. Ask them, encourage them to accept your body. Each one of us is different. Some are taller, some are shorter, some are fairer, some are darker. We all have different sizes, shapes. Our face looks different. Some are round, some are heart shaped, some are narrow, all sorts of shapes. Now each one looks different. Now imagine a situation where every woman is tall and fair and lovely and has exactly the same shape. They look very desperately boring. You need variety. It is variety that gives women beauty. Unless is okay, now you have a slim beauty, fine, but you have to have proper difference. Or not everybody will like a slim body. You need to have adequate variety to enjoy, make beauty beautiful. Appreciate your appearance. Appreciate the fact that you are different. Everybody has something to appreciate. Maybe you've got a beautiful smile. My father was dark, but he had white teeth, and when he smiled, oh my God, he looked so absolutely charming. You wouldn't believe it. Okay, so it's not just skin color; it's the way you smile. You're being happy. That itself makes anybody look beautiful. A smile makes a lot of difference. Appreciate your beauty. Appreciate your. Maybe you just have a bright smile, twinkling eyes. Each one of us is different. Okay, then be proud of what you can do, not just what you are, but what you can do with your body. Maybe you're good at sports, maybe you're good at dancing, maybe you're good with your fingers. Each one of us has to do rather than only your body shape, and take care of your body. Now the point of all this is adolescents are so depressed about their body image, and that depression makes them give up hope, and then okay, everybody says I'm fat, so what's the point? So they deliberately eat more to take a revenge against their friends who are always making fun of them, so they become even more overweight. So what you do, once you create optimism in them, once you appreciate what is to be appreciated in them, once you teach them to appreciate their bodies, they feel happy. And once a person feels happy and positive, is to take care of your body, and they are more likely to eat healthy food, to sleep well, to exercise, and to maintain a healthy weight. So being positive is very important. Now, fortunately, nowadays, there are quite a few body positive sites on Instagram which tell you, okay, each person is beautiful in his own way. I am beautiful in my way. Don't try to compare me to other people. Okay, there are sites like that, but they are still a minority. And advice to parents is equally important. Number one, again, is to discourage, control excessive Instagram use. Secondly, they have to be good models. They should not be, eating junk food and talking negative and talking all about body image all the time. They should talk to the adolescent about body image, openly have a discussion, a friendly discussion, to know whether the adolescent is comfortable, and if not, what can be done about it. Praise achievers and not just glamorous people. Promote game, sports, and exercise. Do not, under any circumstance, glorify undernourished persons, and encourage positive friends. Right? Beauty comes in various shapes. It's not just the beauty of the body, it's the beauty of your abilities, the beauty of your brain. Beautiful women. These are three beautiful women whom I really admire, and that's why I've kept their photos here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Newton sir. That was a very crisp and very informative talk. Any questions? Okay, and now I request, since I don't think we have any questions, I now request our secretary, branch secretary, Dr. Bidu, to say the vote of thanks. Bidu.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you, Newton Lewis, sir, for a wonderful talk about today's talk about body image and adolescence. And it was very quite informative, even though I am quite late in joining, but it was quite interesting and quite informative. And thank you, Gobi Mohan, for organizing in such a wonderful Zoom meeting. Thank you very much for all those who attended the talk. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.